Hello and welcome to episode 18 of Under Fire. My name is Sam and I'm here with the flesh-crafting homunculus himself. It's Sam.
Hello.
How are you?
That was a bit creepy, sorry.
That
Hello.
was really creepy. That was hideously creepy.
That was terrifying. I'm very good. I'm pumped. I'm ready. And yeah, all that jazz.
All that jazz. Good. I'm glad. Back in your true place.
I'm back in I'm behind the captain's chair. I'm dealing with putting power to the gen. You tell me what to do and I put the power to the gennies. You know what I mean?
What you're saying is you do all the real work.
Oh, for God. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
clearly.
I just, yeah.
Clearly. No, let's be honest. I just turn up. There's nothing I do. I just turn up.
We both just kind of turn up, in fairness.
True.
So, for this episode, we're going to be doing a deeper dive into the new Drukhari Codex, following up from our initial thoughts last week. Although, for initial thoughts, it went on for a while.
There was a lot of thoughts in that initial.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about this book. We're also going to cover the Book of Rust in some detail.
Yeah, mainly the Drukhari parts, and
yeah,
I might dabble in the
Death Guard, but just because that sort of completes the book a little bit in a very strange sort of way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start by talking more about the units in the Codex because I spent a long time last week talking about rules and obsessions and and we didn't really touch on units at all.
No, there's so much to go over.
There's so much.
It's got to be another episode.
Yeah.
There you go.
I could probably do another one after this, in all honesty, on like another set. But I've picked 4 units that I think are going to be talked about a lot, potentially picked a lot, and I've also put in a couple of how I would run them.
Yeah,
and some little combo-y type things in there. So
beautiful.
I'll just go into it.
I'll just go for it.
I'll just go straight in. So first things, a lot of you might expect me to talk about Drazar and the Incubi in this episode. I'm not gonna. It's been talked about. They're incredible.
Yeah.
You all know what to do with them. Put them in a transport. Charge them in. Let them do what they do. It's fine. We don't need to discuss it.
Very simple. We know the very, very powerful units.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought, we're not talking about them. That's everywhere. But
that's a given. It
is a given. And I'm glad it's a given because I've wanted Drazar to be like that for 20 years. So
Definitely.
But, so, the first unit I'm going to talk about is and this is my favourite unit in this book. I absolutely love where this sits at the minute. And it is the Succubus.
Ooh,
the Succubus.
Thy Succubus, yeah.
So, like I said, this is my favorite. I mean, it was my favorite unit in the last Codex, in all honesty. But she's just got better.
You're a cult man, aren't you?
I'm a cult man, and that's reflected in my choices today.
Yeah.
But I am very much a cult man. Which, if you don't know what we're talking about, sounds very weird, but.
I'm into cults and shit.
Yeah, I really enjoy a good cult. So, the Succubus. Okay. 8-inch move, happy days. Weapon skill 2 up, ballistic skill 2 up, happy days. Strength 3, toughness 3, 5 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6 up save.
She's a
the big one there. The big one there is the 6 attacks and the 8-inch move.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That
is
nice. The way I'm going to build her, and the way most people are going to build her, because I love this, is to have her as a assassin unit that can just go off by herself and cause havoc.
It's like a heat seeker Waichi missile.
She becomes, the way I'm going to talk about how I would build it, essentially a Harlequin solitaire, and I'd use her very similarly. The idea of, I'm going to send this model in, she's going to kill many things. She will die, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think she comes in at
sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, and she comes in at like 60 points, a bit more if you upgrade her to the Master Succubus. So you're not even like putting that many points into her. So
no.
Big change for this edition is the change to no escape. So works on all units now except for Titanic units, which is great. We can trap vehicles and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
The difference is that you have to now actually beat your opponent in the roll-off, whereas before, if you drew, you won. But now you have to actually win.
Okay, cool.
Now, you can give her a Shard Net and Impaler and subtract one from your opponent's roll, but you don't want to do that, and I'll tell you why.
Okie dokie.
This is how I'm going to build her. Are you prepped?
I'm sat down. I assume standing up I would fall, so I'm
You would
sat.
fall.
Okay, I'm sat.
So, she comes with 6 attacks base, yeah?
Yep.
We're going to give her a relic that I was giving her all last edition because I love it, the Triptych Whip.
Yeah. Is that...
So
yeah, it's a relic. Sorry, you just...
It's a relic, yeah.
It's a relic, yeah.
It is a relic. So, it's poison 2 up, which is...
Tasty.
Tasty by itself.
What more can you say? Just
What
don't roll a
more
1.
can you say? Well, easier said than done.
All you got to do, don't roll that 1.
Just don't roll a 1. And then, the beauty of it is, so poison 2 up, it's AP -3.
Okay.
Happy days.
Very
it's
cool.
2 damage.
Oh, it's a marine killer.
It's a marine killer. And here's the kicker. It gives her 3 extra attacks.
Oh.
So you're now coming in with 9 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s at AP -3, 2 damage.
Regardless of anybody's toughness.
Regardless of anybody's toughness. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you make her a Warlord. Now, there's lots of different Warlord traits you could pick here that would go well. You can do ones where things happen on 6s, stuff like that, to get extra hits and stuff.
Yep.
I've gone for very simple, Quicksilver Fighter, gives her 2 attacks. Bam.
So she got 11 attacks.
We're on 11 attacks. We're on to 11 attacks. I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Sorry.
not done.
I'll sit back down. Sorry.
Sit down. Let me finish. We upgraded to the Master Succubus. This allows her to use her 6-inch consolidation anywhere.
Which is a very, very nice little mechanic.
A very good rule. And then we give her some combat drugs.
Okay, specific combat drugs, or we're rolling?
There's 2 I would choose. I would choose either the 2-inch to move, or I would choose the extra attack on the charge.
Okay.
If you don't quite think she's got enough attacks.
I mean, that is a lot of attacks. And that is a lot of
attacks.
That is a lot of very reliable.
Well, so the way I would run it, I'd give her the movement boost. So 11 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, AP -3, 2 damage. That's a lot of Marines gone.
Shagaboom, yeah. Is it, for the consolidate? I'm assuming that extra move is just for movement. That's just an extra movement characteristic. Not the consolidate. Sorry, the combat drug. Is that just for movement? Yeah.
Yeah. So she gets 2 inch to her move. Yeah. So she become movement 10.
Oh my days!
Yeah.
That's big. And can am I correct in thinking the new combat, not the combat drugs, the new power from pain? Is it you can advance?
Yes.
Charge?
Turn 2, you can advance and charge.
So oh my days.
So there's more.
Oh, I've stood up again. I'll sit back down. Sorry, I've sat down. Go on.
There's more layers to this.
Okay,
I mean, you could leave it at that, but we make her Cult of Strife. Gives us an extra inch to our charge.
Oh,
but just specifically, it gives us access to the 2 CP Fight Again stratagem.
Which is pretty tasty.
So, and there's another stratagem that you could use with a Hyperstim Backlash.
Yep.
It is 2 CP, but it doubles the effect of whatever combat drug she's got on her. So you could either give her a 4-inch extra move, or if you put the attack on her, get another attack if you wanted it. But I would go with the 4 inches extra move. So she's moving 12, she's advancing and charging.
That's just not fun.
You charge in, you attack, you kill many things, you then consolidate your 6 inches to tag something else, like a character, because you don't have to go to the closest.
Yeah.
Character, or even a tank, if you want to tag it, but, a character or even another squad. And then you attack again.
Just a lot. That's much. That's much, that is.
It is much.
That's a bit much.
It's a bit much, but I like it.
I do like it. What I will say is, when we talk about the Book of Rust, we will remember this conversation about this woman, because I bet you there's a few bits in here. I think there is a few things, because that is called a Strife as well.
It is,
the supplement. So when we'll go back again about this woman, because I've guaranteed there's a bit of tasty stratagem shenanigans in that book, actually.
I thought that.
Yeah.
I thought there might be. I've not looked at it myself, but I thought there might be.
Yeah, we'll have a gander.
Bearing in mind, this mod also has a 4-up invuln, so, they're sort of got a coin flip, but...
She's not easy to kill, really. A
not
4-up
easy to
invuln
kill.
is, it's 50% of the time it works every time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a good invuln to have.
And combine all that with the no escape thing that we talked about at the start. You're charging in, you're killing loads, you're consolidating, you're attacking again. And even if you've failed to kill, it's not guaranteed that they can even get away.
No.
So you might even get to, come back again and have another go next turn. So
yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of succubi.
And that is big as well, that no escape thing. Because if you can guarantee, because I assume as well across the book, I guarantee there's some sort of leadership debuff stuff in there that you can do. So if you,
it's just a roll off now.
No, sorry. I memean, I bet there's things that you can do to them before this even goes on. I bet there's. That is the what was it? The grenade launcher, the Phantasm grenade launcher. Before that was like a -1 to your leadership and stuff like that. I bet you there's ways of cracking at that unit pre her going in that will just be like, Jesus, you know what I mean? You can't win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's plenty you can do with it, and I'm looking forward to having a go.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. That's going to be
having a go. So that is the succubus. There's loads of ways you could build her as well. Like one of the relics for I can't remember which cult it was, but there's one called the Blood Glaive.
Yeah.
I think it's. I'm going to assume. Is it Red Grief? Yeah. So it's the Red Grief, which is Strength +2, AP -3, 3 damage, which is pretty nice.
That ain't
on that many attacks.
That's no joke either.
Because that makes a Strength 5. You could be going into, if you've got Death Guard, for example. That's a Death Guard killer if I've ever seen one.
See, that's a good. Oh no, I suppose you've got to choose the cult first, though, haven't you? I was going to say you could always wait till you know what you're going against and use the extra relic stratagem like pre-game, because you do that once you know what you're playing, to give her either one of them, but the different cults then, so you couldn't do that anyway.
Problem, It's, but sometimes you do know you're going to play, and you
true.
You do a little bit of swift.
You go with the damage 3 against Death Guard. You're not falling back, mate.
Yeah,
but, you know what I mean.
Expect it when we do the battle plan for Death Guard versus Drukhari. Anywho, next unit I want to talk about. Now, I was a little bit clickbaity about these last week.
Oh, okay.
Because they're causing a bit of stir in the community.
The community.
And I wanted to throw in a bit of controversy.
Okie dokie.
And just cause a little thing. So we're going to talk about Hellions.
Oh, the winged boys. Yeah.
Now, if you remember last week, I said don't believe the hype.
You put them down a little bit.
And I stand by what I said. However, I'm going to talk about them. So, why are Hellions? The first question is, why is everyone talking about them? Well, it's because they're now toughness 4 and they've got 2 wounds. Is one of the reasons why people are enjoying them.
It is the issue that they had was they were weak as shit and they had no. They just died. You looked at them and they got distracted and flew into a building.
Yeah,
Green Goblin it straight into the fucking side.
So they have got some defensive buffs, which is nice. The other reason people like them is their Hell Glaive is now puts them at Strength 4, AP -1, 2 damage. So they're pretty proficient Marine killers as well.
That's nice.
So everyone's getting really excited about them, buying them and building loads. And I'll be honest with you, I've been working on some today.
Yeah.
But I just think they're cool. I've always liked them. So
they are a very cool unit, yeah. They're awesome. They're crazy drugged up blokes and women on flying
carpets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are cool. But the reason I said don't believe the hype, and the reason I think people are getting a bit ahead of themselves by buying loads because they think they're going to be the new hotness, they're still got one of the biggest footprints, if you like, of any unit. Like a squad of 10 of them, you ain't hiding that anywhere. There ain't no way you're getting those behind cover or anything like that, because they just take up a large amount of room.
Tall model into it as well.
Yeah,
and you got the flying stem.
they have to be spread out so much, because they're sort of spindly. And if you do get behind cover, that's cover that you're not using for your venoms, your transports, and stuff like that need it more.
True. I mean, can you deep strike them? Can they come down?
I mean, they could fly, so you could use. There are ways to get them in. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can do the webway portal stuff and bits like that, can't you?
Yeah. You can do that. The other thing is with the 2 wound.
Just quickly before. Sorry to interrupt you. Are they still? Can you have like a unit of 20 of them?
Yes, which is
you still can have a big.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Which I'll come to in a bit. Yeah,
that's a lot of wounds. Right.
That is a lot of wounds. Okay. But the 2 wound thing is great. However, people are packing a lot of damage 2 weapons nowadays because of Marines.
That is true.
Although the wounds have gone up, everybody's weapons have increased in damage as well.
True.
So it's not as much as a buff as it initially looks,
I assume their survivability still isn't
great. Yeah.
Are they still like a 7 up?
They're a 5 up save.
They're a 5 up save. Okay, no invuln.
Well, you've got your power from pain invuln, so you're 6 up.
So you got 6 up. Okay.
And you're 5 up on turn 4. Turn 3.
Okay.
Turn 4.
Okay. So okay.
So they're all right.
They're going to go down, but they're
yeah.
Okay.
I just think people think that they're these incredible things that are just going to throw down and they're going to tear everybody up, and I don't think they are.
How quick are they? Are they as quick as bikes?
They have a 14-inch move.
14-inch move.
Reavers have an 18-inch move.
Okay.
Now, here's how I would build them if I was going to take them. Curse Blade. Call it the Curse Blade. Extra strength. So they're coming in at strength 5 now on their weapons.
That's nice.
Which is nice. And Curse Blade is the one where if you save 6s to save, does a mortal wound back, and with 2 wounds, they should be making a fair few saves, hopefully.
Oh, so they oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. So they literally like flick the bullet back off the.
Well, it's in combat.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I thought they were Jedi all the way.
No. This is the Cult of the Cursed Blade obsession.
Okay, cool.
Then you've got 2 options combat drugs wise. You could either give them the extra strength and make them strength 6, which why not?
Yeah.
Or get them the extra attack on the charge, so they'll be coming in then at 4 attacks each.
That is a scary unit.
Yeah.
If you can get, I mean, I don't know how many. Do you know how many points they are? Or
I could tell you, 17 points per model, I believe. Hold on.
It's not bad if it's 17.
It's not bad. It's 17 points per model. It's not bad, but it's enough where you've got to think about what you're going to do with them, because if you lose a squad of 10.
Yeah,
it's
170 points going down the drain.
And they do go down quick. So you just got to be clever with them, I think. Like with the whole codex, really. But
to be fair, if you were doing a 20-man squad, you don't want to be deep striking that, because you could screen that out.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah, it's not.
And then they're just going to they're going to draw a lot of fire. That's the thing.
Yeah.
With all the damage to weapons. Because remember, people are building lists to deal with Marines.
Yeah.
So when you put Dark Eldar down, or Drukhari down, or normal Eldar or anything down on the table against someone who's brought a load of damage to weapon, they're looking for targets for that damage to weaponry, because they don't want to be shooting it into your Cabalites.
They don't want to waste the extra damage.
So the Hellions are going to be target A for that sort of firepower.
That's true.
Now, this is a bit of a cheesy little fun thing. You take a squad of 20.
Yeah.
And then you use Eviscerating Flyby.
Ooh.
Fly over a squad.
Yeah.
So Eviscerating Flyby. Pick a squad that the unit's flown over. Roll a d6 for every model in the Hellion unit, or Reavers if you're doing it with Reavers, whatever. On a 5 up, the squad takes a mortal wound. But if it's an infantry, it's on a 4 up. So if you do it with a squad of 20, you're doing 10 mortal wounds for 2 command points.
Ooh. That's pretty.
So that's tasty.
That's nasty. That's before you've even
that's the movement phase.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That's very cool.
Something like Death Guard, who really don't like mortal wounds.
We used to.
You don't know so much anymore.
Not anymore.
Or even like a squad of aggressors, like straight
just
over.
Soften up the numbers to give you a better shot. Then
you'll probably be able to charge in and finish the squad off. So they're not. They're good. Use them wisely. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, like anything Dark Eldar, you shoot enough at it, it's just going to die anyway.
Exactly.
To most things, but
exactly.
it's a cool. It could also be like a distraction You have 2 of them on each flank, like a squad of them each flank or something.
10 on
you
each
need
flank,
to deal with them because they're gonna cause havoc. But
yeah. I mean, I've got 5, and I've been working on 5 today.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick up another 5 and just run a squad of 10 and see how they go. Just for especially if I'm doing pure witch cult, which I will be running.
Yeah.
You know, I think in the real space raid list, there are probably better things you could take. But if you're going pure witch cult, then
it's a good addition. You want the speed, don't you? You want that speed and combat element in there.
Exactly. Speaking of speed, Reaver jet bikes. I love Reaver jet bikes.
They are very cool.
I love bikes in general. Like, I don't care what sort of. I just like armies that are on bikes.
Yeah, but you can't get better bikes. Like,
no,
these are the bikes and the Hellions. The whole thing about them, rival gangs and that, it's just awesome. It's got these pushing. It's all about pushing it to the limit as well, isn't it? It's all about speed. Like, we need to. How cool can I take someone's head off with the bottom of my bike when I fly past and stuff? It's just cool. It's just really cool.
They are cool. So the Reavers are relatively untouched from a stat line point of view, other than like the extra attack everything's got and stuff like that. Where they've picked up a bit of power is to do with some of the weapon changes.
Okay.
So the Heat Lance, which is how I was running them before, is now we've moved to a heavy one. So that's a shame. But you can counteract that with the combat drugs that give him an extra weapon skill.
Well, okay.
So you can still move and shoot at weapon skill 3, which is good. It's now strength 8, AP -4, but it's D6 plus 2 damage.
Ooh, so it is melter.
It is, but it doesn't have like a half range extra and all that. It's just D6 plus 2, AP -4, straight up.
That's really quite tasty then.
So you've got something here that potentially do 8 damage.
Yeah, that's nice. Because that used to be strength 6 or something, didn't it? It was like strength 6 -4 D6 damage, I believe, before.
But I believe it did have the reroll under half range before.
Yeah, I think it was basically a melter, but for some reason it was strength 6. Like, it didn't make no sense.
Yeah, so it's strength 6, AP -5, D6 damage. So it's gone from AP -5 to AP -4. You don't need -5. -4 is enough.
Oh yeah.
And now it's D6 plus 2 rather than just D6. So even on the worst roll of your life, you're still doing 3 damage. Like,
that's nice. That's nice.
And on a good roll, 8 damage.
Good night.
So that already is, thrown Reavers up the power level for me.
Yeah.
The other thing is the blaster.
Yep.
So the blaster's now 18-inch again. It's an assault one, so you can be hitting more reliably with it. It's strength 8, AP -4, D6 damage. So again,
very cool. Yeah.
A good bit of damage. Tank hunters is the way I'd describe them.
Yeah. Are they? Is there still limitations on how many of those you can take?
You can have one of them per 3.
Per 3 still, yes, that's the same. Okay.
Which is the same as they've always been. So the way I'm probably thinking about doing it is 2 or 3 small units of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just starting around, just getting that one heat lance shot off.
That's cool.
Just having that threat. Like, think of the threat range: 18-inch move plus the 18 inches range on the heat lance.
Oh, you shooting whatever you want. Yeah.
It's just the threat range your opponent's got to think about as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, you may miss. Yes, you may not wound, but your opponent has to think. If that goes through, he has to think like you're going to land those shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So just having like 3 squads of those, it's just going to like
splitting them into 3 squads is actually, I mean, it's a good idea. In there's that many more targets the opponent's got to then shoot something at. Like, it's one of them really irritating. It's like shooting at Nurglings or something like that for Death Guard for demons. It's like, they're not the Reaver jetbacks obviously aren't irrelevant. It's not, they're going to do some damage, but it's not. It doesn't. It feels like it doesn't warrant enough damage. To be like the big threat. But I've still got to put something into them. And if I miss, and you've got to keep putting stuff into it. 3 little units actually could be.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And then on top of that, that helps with things like engage on all fronts, grabbing an objective, stuff like that. Having just them darting around, just being an annoyance.
Yeah.
That's how I would use Reavers. And I love them. They're just cool.
Love them. Speed
is the key. Okay, I've got one last unit to talk about. Mandrakes.
Ooh, those shadow boys.
Shadowy boys.
Okay. I've always really liked the idea of Mandrake.
Yeah. And I wish they were better than they are, but they are still good.
Yeah.
I wish they were how they were in the lore, but you could say that about many things. So
it's always reminded me of like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Like just so you'd hear them. I don't know. It's like you'd hear them almost laughing, but it probably wouldn't even be a laugh. It'd just be, I don't know. It's very sinister.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading the trilogy of books, the Path of the Dark Eldar at the minute, and they've travelled to the realm that the Mandrakes live in.
What's the realm called?
I can't even say it. I'll be honest with you. I've been reading it.
Yeah, it's a weird name, isn't it?
But it begins with an A.
Yeah.
I've just been skimming past it when I read.
I know what it means. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's all I need. But the reason I like these boys, from Out of the Shadows, so during deployment, when you set them up, they can be set up anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from the enemy deployment zone. So that's during deployment.
Okay.
So they're straight on the board, screening. You do a nice screen, anything like that.
True. Yeah.
And also you can get in early with them.
Yeah.
On top of that, they've got fade away. So once per battle, they can be removed from the battlefield and then brought back down in the reinforcement step of the next movement phase.
That's nice. That's cool.
That's
also
units.
Sinister as anything.
It is.
Just slip into that shadow and come out somewhere else. That's
so
terrifying.
Deploy them up front. Use them for something, maybe a bit of damage. Grab an objective. Deploy a scrambler if you've took that secondary. Then back away to the back objectives and hold the back objective. Something like that with them.
Yeah. Or saying again, you could screen with them at the back, and then when you've got into a good foothold and have like say you've got the middle ground or whatever, and you've got a good, and then you lurk them into the shadows and bring them forward. That would be cool. Yeah,
that would be cool. So, and they're not great in terms of damage output, but they're not bad. They've got 3 attacks each. The main guy's got 4. It's strength 4, AP -1, 1 damage. But so it's all right.
It was there. They've got a ranged attack, anti. That was a pretty tasty little thing.
Yeah, the Bell Blast, 18-inch assault 2, strength 4, AP -1, 1 damage, but 6s are a mortal wound in addition.
That's it. Yeah, it's got more.
So if you go in with a big squad of these,
yeah, that's cool.
Happy days. You can take 10, drop them in. 10, 20 shots. I think they're just, and I think they're sort of. I think they'll sort of, this is ironic, sort of fly beneath the radar a little bit. Your opponent might not see them as the threat they are until it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they are -1 to hit as well. They do have their patented 7-up save.
Do they have a better invuln?
They've got the power from pain invuln, so you've got the 6-up.
So they only have the 6-up invuln?
Yeah. Oh no, wrong. They've got shadow creatures, which gives them a 5-up invuln. So.
Yeah, I thought they had like a 5-up or something.
Until everybody gets one. So
yeah,
they're not the most survivable things, but I just feel like I like units that can jump on objective and just be an annoyance for your opponent, and ones that maybe they don't see as a threat.
Definitely.
Playing the mind games.
I think. Because I've still not received my codex, as you haven't either, have you?
No, I haven't. Element Games. I don't think it's their fault. I think it's actually it's that ship that was stuck.
The
Evergreen.
Yeah, that one.
Was it Evergreen?
I think it was Evergreen. Yeah, I think
it's that Will Young song.
I was going to sing some of them, but
I'm gonna take this moment. No,
let's stop. I can hear the followers leaving.
Yeah, the subscribers dropping.
But from what it sounds like, there's the sort of the main bulk of your army is going to be your selected troops from each thing. So your Wipers or your Cabalites or whatever. That's your bulky army with your transports. You've got your HQs. That's your army. That's your army.
Yeah.
All the other sort of utility things and the Mandrakes, the Hellions, the Incubi, the bits and bobs like that, they've all got that specific role.
Yeah,
down to a T. All right, yes, they can all die pretty quickly, but you've got it's cheap enough to have a ridiculous amount of like Wyches or Cabalites and in transports and all that, and have your bulk of your army to keep throwing them up at them. But all these little utility units, like the Mandrakes and stuff, just like you said, go under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's one of them. It's like, all right, you're dealing with the bulk of my army, but you've got just constant little niggly things coming at you from left and right. It's really nicely sort of balanced out and put together. I think I have obviously not read it properly, but it sounds like nothing is not a viable choice. It's all got a good sort of purpose in the army.
In terms of units, definitely. I know I
yeah.
said last time that there were some bad choices, but that all comes in the obsessions and stratagems area. In terms of units,
the units themselves,
they're all pretty doable, with the exception of a couple of the beasts from the Beastmaster. You're probably not going to touch, but other than that,
which is a shame because that's such a cool idea as well. Bring it like bring in the white cool creatures that they would be fighting and stuff. Bring them having some actual quite tasty little units there would be really fluffy and cool. But
yeah, I mean the Beastmasters. If you're taking them with clawed fiends, then they're pretty good.
Yeah,
but the Razorwing Flocks and the Chimera
are not very good.
Are not so good.
Right.
Other than you can use the Razorwings as a good screening unit.
Okay, yeah.
Because you can take like 9 of them, so you just spread them out.
They've missed the ticket with that stuff. They could have made another few beasts to bring in and made that like quite a cool. I don't know. You could almost get this vibe of like a White's Court of like the whole arena thing and bringing like the arena to the battlefield and testing everything, and they could have really gone for it with that stuff, which is a shame.
Yeah, it is, especially because it's it's 4 entries in the Codex for the Witches, so it's it's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably convert a Beastmaster and convert up some Clawed Fiends, and and run them just for the fun of it. Because I mean the Clawed Fiends, they're strength 5, AP -2, 2 damage. They've got a 10-inch move, so they're not
they're not to be sniffed at.
And when they take a wound and they've got 4 wounds, they go up to 6 attacks and they've got 5 normal. So I think Clawed Fiends Beastmaster, is potentially doable, but the rest definitely not. Anywho, those are my units that I'm most excited about. I've just got to work out what I'm going to do about Mandrakes, whether I'm going to buy the actual official models or convert some.
They're fine cast.
I know. I've had an idea for a conversion that I might look at, but
yeah. I did see a really good one someone was doing. I can't remember who it was on Instagram. Someone was doing one. They'd used some of the what they called Sylvaneth. They'd used some of the units in there for like the long hair. The units have got this really nice long Mandrakey looking hair, and then they'd put them on. I don't remember. No, they'd put them on the what they called. Come on, Sam. Use that brain. Let me just have a look on the website.
Describe them to me.
It is the Warcry warbands. That's it. It was.
Okay.
The unmade.
Yeah, I thought about that myself. Yeah, I looked at those.
I believe he's used the bodies for them, and then he's put these Sylvaneth heads on, which have got this really long hair. Looks awesome. I will find out who it was, and I will mention it because I'm talking about it like it's my idea, and it's not.
Credit.
I think you could make some cool conversions.
I think I will. I should do that. Cool. Let's me shut up then, because I spoke for an episode and a half now.
That's all right. People like your voice. I like your voice. It's a nice voice.
Thank you. You're very kind. It's been described as both monotonous and boring. which is why I decided to start a podcast.
Both by me.
Both by you, this afternoon.
Oh, I've found it. It is Sky Serpent 40k on Instagram.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, he's done some nice Mandrake. I assume they're Mandrakes. Yes, it is Mandrakes. But they look really, really cool.
I'm going to do something that makes great radio now and have a look.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys at home also have a look. Check him out. Sky Serpent 40k. He's done some. He's doing some really nice looking stuff for the Drukhari. My only thing was, I think.
Oh, right now I'm doing that.
They look cool, don't they?
I'm taking your idea, Sky Serpent.
The only thing is the units is used from the Sylvaneth. I believe you only get 5 models with the hair.
Yeah.
And they're like 30 quid. And then the unmade box is about 30
quid.
No, it's a pricey one if you want to do it. But like they do look really cool. He's made an awesome job on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got an idea. Jesus, what was that?
I'm sorry, that was me. I dropped it.
I thought you just dropped.
He's fell. He's gone.
I thought his heart had given out. He's gone. Looking at the incredible conversions.
I've dropped. It's the Mandrakes.
Right.
Got me.
Do you want to go through the Cult of Strife Book of Rust stuff for us and let us know what you think?
Let's do it, shall we?
Let's do it. I know nothing about this, really. I had a quick glance, but I'm purposely not read too much into it. So,
okay, there's some cool stuff. I've not gone full read of the whole thing, but what I can tell you is the Book of Rust, the one book that did come on time, which was nice. It is a very cool book. It's got some awesome bits of fluff about this the campaign that Charadon.
I don't know how you say that. If it's Charadon or Caradon or
Charadon or Char. It sounds like a Pokemon.
Charadon.
I choose Charadon. No, it's a really cool bit of fluff, and the missions that are involved. I won't go through the missions, but there's some really, really cool setups. Some of the actual I can't visually show you with your ears, sorry. But one of the missions, I'll just say this one. It's called Desperation and Despair, which is a lovely name for a mission.
It's a lovely name for a mission.
The deployment zone. Imagine a very, very large chessboard, and you've got the squares. Yeah. You've got the white, black, white, black, white, black. Just take 2 rows of them. So the deployment zones are basically top, bottom, middle, bottom, bottom, but it alternates. So it's sort of like I can't explain this. There's 6 sort of squares to the board, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're in opposite sections. So you're basically surrounding each other, defending and attacking. It's sort of you're all surrounding each other. But it's very cool. It looks cool.
That sounds cool.
Just
I love scenarios.
Trust me, it looks cool.
I'd love to be in a position where we played enough games of the rulebook scenarios that we felt like we needed these extra scenarios.
That's very true.
But having not played any played 2 or 3 out of the rulebook, they're good to have and they never go out of date. So
we've got a lot of stuff to catch up on.
Exactly.
Which will begin tomorrow. That's what's more important.
At time of recording.
Yes. So, in the Book of Rust, what we're going to talk about more is the actual army bits that are in there.
Yeah.
So, mainly, I'm going to talk about the Cult of Strife, like you said.
Yeah.
In here, though, you've got one for Mechanicus. You've got a supplement for that. You've got a supplement for Freeblade Lancers, which is awesome for the knights. So like you can basically make a blooming army of Freeblades and have some extra cool little stuff to go. There's also House Raven as a Codex supplement for the knights, and then my beloved there is the Death Guard Terminus Est Assault Force, which
Typhus's own.
Typhus's little thing, which is awesome, which I will talk about at the end. And then we have the Cult of Strife Codex supplement. Now, you are going to be quite happy with some of this stuff.
I was excited to hear about it. I was, should it have been in the main codex? Maybe. Has it come out at the same time because of COVID? Probably. So I'm not going to whine about it. There probably should have been a gap between the Drukhari Codex and this coming out. COVID has screwed things over. Get over it.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So you take your detachment of White Cult or whatever, and it is then you are the Cult of Strife.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
I know in order to be the Death Guard one, there is a restriction on not being able to take any vehicles. Does a restriction exist for being called this specific Court of Strife, or is it just you choose it and you're away?
Does not.
Oh.
You are just Court of Strife.
That's
and
interesting.
You take it like it's a little bit different, I guess. Whereas this is a Codex supplement, and the Death Guard one is an actual sort of. It's not a Codex supplement. It's a detachment
Formation.
It's like the old formation stuff. It's more of a formation than anything.
Okay.
So this is basically when you're choosing your whatever, you can do your real space raid and you can just go, I'm going to have the Court of Strife and use this book. So there's no restrictions like that. Unless my eyes are completely blind. I don't think there is.
People
it's just,
are rigorously typing now to leave comments.
You fucking idiot! So in this, you get 3 Warlord traits. And they are pretty tasty. I love how it always tells you you can either choose one or you can roll a D3 and
who's rolling for these things?
Yeah. But the fact they put that in there, I know how it works. People know how that works. You can either choose one or. You know what I mean?
But
anyway.
who's thinking? You know what? I shall let the fates decide.
Yeah, I'm going to live on the edge because there's always 1 or 2 that are better than everything.
Yeah,
no matter what it is. So you're going to get the worst one off. Right. So I will talk about these. So we've got, and that also you remember what you was on about for your succubus, and see if any of these make her even tastier. Okay. So first one you can have is the competitive edge. So each time this warlord fights, if all of its attacks target one enemy unit, after resolving all of those attacks, it can make a number of additional attacks against that enemy unit equal to the number of attacks that did not reach the inflict damage step of the attack sequence during that fight.
Mother may I.
But what a wordy motherfucker to say that is, right? That's a lot of words.
But it is a lot of words, but it's also perfectly clear. You know what I mean?
It is perfectly clear. There's no messing about there. But
however many attacks didn't do damage, you get to make them again. I'm into that,
which is awesome because
I've got
what we're saying there. What we're saying there is you have 11 attacks. You've hit with 11 attacks. You've wounded with 11 attacks. The opponent then saves 11 times on 6s, and it's like what?
Yeah.
What? But you then just roll 11 dice again. Here we go.
Yeah, and what's interesting? So, hold on. I'm going to get it up. What about this? So, if you're attacking twice, so each time it fights, if you're attacking twice as well, stratagem, that will happen. Jesus Christ!
Like what you've got to look at it is you are forcing no matter what happens. So this is if you did not reach the inflict damage step.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't say after resolving all of those attacks, it can make a number of additional attacks. It doesn't say if you miss.
Yeah, that counts as well. Yeah,
it counts as not from what I'm reading there. Yeah, it's just you will get a second. You'll basically get to re-roll anything that doesn't do damage.
Yeah, you take the number of attacks you've got, you minus the number of ones that manage to do damage, and then that's the number of attacks you get to make additionally. Yeah, that's filth.
Which is filth. Especially if you've got that where you're hitting on 2s and you've got the thing where you're wounded on 2s. You basically guarantee it. It's down to the opponent.
Yeah.
It's down to them. Yeah.
It's reliability. And so much of this game sits on reliability that is a nice.
That's pretty filthy. Adding that to that succubus profile you've got is very, very nasty.
Yeah.
Right. Number 2, we've got Unparalleled Agility. So each time an attack is made against this warlord, subtract 1 from the hit roll and the wound roll.
Ooh.
So it makes it a little bit more survivable.
I like that. I don't tend to make them survivable, but it's good.
I mean, just out of those 2, I'd still rather just take the top one, first one. And then number 3 is Master Executioner. Each time this warlord makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll.
Oh, yes. Now that, I do like that.
Which I like. Don't get me wrong. However, when you then look at the first one, which is if it didn't get to damage, you basically get to roll again anyway.
Oh yeah.
Kind of. I mean, when you look at it like that, it's sort of you're going to get another. You're going to get to attack again anyway. So
yeah,
it's a weird one.
I think if you've got something like I wouldn't take that with the 2-up triptych whip, but if I'm using like the blood glaive where I've not got that to rely on, then that's definitely something I'd probably think about taking. Definitely.
Yeah, which is.
Cool. But the first one's clear winner.
It's pretty filthy. It's pretty filthy, and I'm sure I've not read that wrong. I read that out.
No, I'm looking at it in front of me, and I think you're right.
Yeah, so that's pretty nasty. That's really nasty, really. Actually,
the only reason you might take the other one is that you obviously have to put everything into one unit. So if you did want to split your attacks,
that's true. Yeah.
That's the sort of trade-off.
How you were wanting to build her in the first place.
But as a carrot hunter,
oh yeah,
tasty,
very tasty. Right, the relics. So there is a whopping 4 relics for this one cult of Strife.
I like it.
Which I believe, I think they only get like 1 in the actual book, don't they? One
specific to them,
and then
obviously they get the ones everyone can have, but yeah.
Yeah. So as long as your army is led by a cult of Strife warlord, you can choose, when mustering your army and all that jazz, you can choose to take the relics from here. Blah, 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 blah. That's all the usual standard stuff. So we've got Morvane's Agonizer. This obviously replaces your Agonizer. And it is Strength User, which is irrelevant. -3, 1 damage. Poison weapon 4+. Each time the bearer fights, after all of its attacks have been resolved, select 1 enemy unit that was hit by an attack made by this weapon.
Just hit.
Can't be a vehicle and a monster. Until the start of your next turn, they can't fall back.
Oh, I do like that.
Which is pretty nasty.
That's big, yeah.
That's pretty nasty. I mean, if you put that with giving her that competitive edge, say, you're getting a lot of attacks that, you sort of guaranteeing attacks. You're going to guarantee not allowing them to fall back. So you're with them. If you can survive the hit back, you're protected from everything else, which is pretty tasty.
That is nice. And it's just locking up a unit for a turn,
Yeah, that's cool.
Even if she dies to the swing next turn, you've locked up a unit for a turn. Maybe that's a really key shooter unit or something.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got the Garland of Spite. At the start of the fight phase, select 1 enemy model, not a vehicle or a monster, within engagement range of this model until the end of the phase. Halve that model's attacks characteristic.
Ooh.
As well as each time a melee attack is made by the bearer, that attack automatically hits the target.
Oh my god!
Which is pretty tasty.
Quite good.
So that's your character attacking build.
Definitely,
you're taking that. You're automatically hitting them, so whatever, and they have to half their attacks, which is pretty tasty.
What's that, a baddin?
Exactly. So most of your Space Marine characters that are like the your captains, I believe they're like 6 attacks. So straight away, boom, down to 3 attacks.
Yeah, 3 attacks, and then they'll probably miss 1 or fail to wound 1, so they're going to get 2 through. You got a good chance of passing both those invuns, so that is nice.
I mean, you take that with that unparalleled agility as well. So it's -1 to hit you and wound you, and they're half their attacks. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Right, and then we have the Glaive Exquisite. I think that is.
That is
Exquisite. You replace your Arcanite Glaive. You've got a stretch. This is one I was on about earlier. This is a bit of a silly one. I don't really like this too much. But it's +2 strength, -5, 2 damage. Awesome, banging little weapon. But if you target a unit with this weapon that's leadership characteristic 8 or more, you add 1 to the wound roll. Awesome.
Which is nice.
Cool.
Character killer.
If they are leadership 8 or less, you suffer a mortal wound.
Or if you don't do anything, presumably. If it did not target any enemy units with a leadership. So even if she's just stuck out there not doing anything.
Oh, surely not. At the end of the phase in which the bearer... No.
Oh, no, when she fought with it.
If they fought with a weapon,
yeah.
So,
okay, yeah. I get
but
it,
if you want to hit anything else, you're just taking a mortal wound a turn. Which is...
Yeah. It's not nice. I mean, again, if you are going for that deep character killer...
It's probably not the way to go.
it's
probably the way to go.
It is the way to go, yeah. But anything else,
yeah.
then, and I do think there's better choices that aren't going to wound you. So
I'm never a fan of just doing damage to yourself for whatever's sake. If you've killed you've killed all your characters, you've only got her left, but now you need to go at
that's it.
You need to kill a load of cultists or poxwalkers. It's like, oh God, it's killing me.
It's great till it kills you,
Exactly. And then the last one is Dark Lotus Toxin, which is very nice to say. Add 1 to the strength and damage characteristics of all melee weapons the bearer is equipped with, excluding relics. So
that's nice.
But yeah, agonizers. You guaranteed damage on your agonizer or something now is a normal agonizer still damage 1?
Let me just check. I think it is. Sure. Yes, it is. So your agonizer's AP -3/2 damage now, poison 4 up. That's nice.
Which is not obviously it doesn't affect the strength, but still,
Well, no, the agonizer's strength for the user, so would it not?
It's poison though, isn't it? For the
of course, yeah, it's poison.
So you just wound it on 4.
Yeah,
but still, like getting a 2 damage reliable, what you need for the wounding is pretty good.
Definitely, the first 2 are definitely better than the second 2, but
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the fact that it's a Cult of Strife that you can only have a Cult of Strife use the relic, the Dark Lotus Toxin. If you could give that to an Archon with his Husk Blade,
yeah, that would have been.
Then
nice.
you're talking. You know what I mean?
That would be nice if you could. I think definitely that there's enough cool relics and stuff in here that I'm be looking at taking 2 Succubus.
Yeah,
building them and paying for the extra relics and and just having 2 absolute fear units on the board.
Yeah, definitely. But that is all the relics. Some good stuff in there, and then the stratagems. I've not really gone through the stratagems too much, but basically a lot of them are attacking big units, big monsters, and making you better for attacking monsters. It's all sort of like the arena sort of bits and bob. One that is good though is Flawless Approach. So use this stratagem, 1 CP, use this stratagem in your charge phase. When you charge with a Cult of Strife infantry unit until the end of the turn, enemy units cannot fire Overwatch.
Tasty.
And they cannot hold steady or set to defend as a result of the charge.
Oh, so nice.
You're just nulling everything about the charge, which is nice. You don't want that big squad of Hellions to get shot by all them Daka from the aggressors. Bosh.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You're not shooting them in that, which is nice. Really, really cool. And then, what was the other one? Pick them apart for 2 CP. Use the stratagem in your movement phase. When a Cult of Strife unit from your army falls back, they are eligible to shoot and or charge in the turn that they fell back. Again, nice for the Hellions. I mean, you couple those 2 together, you can use the Flawless Approach, charge in, next turn, if you've survived, fall back, shoot with your Hellions, shoot with your bikes,
charge
do another,
back in.
You could fly over somebody or whatever and still, oh no, you can't fall. Can you fall back over a unit? I don't know if you can.
I would assume not, but I suppose.
I don't know if you've got fly. I don't know if you can fall back over. All I'm thinking was for.
But either way, you fall back and then move over them.
Yeah. Whichever way you look at it, yeah. So you can still do that and then do the Flawless Approach again because you can still charge again. So you just dump it. If you've not quite hit enough on them aggressors, you can fall back, shoot them with everything. Oh, there's still one left. Charge them. Happy days. Very, very cool.
That's cool. I like it. So just a little bit of extra. There's nothing like. The good thing about it is there's nothing in there that's like, oh my god, that's so much more powerful than what's in the Codex. I must buy this book. Like, it's just just an additional stuff. You don't need it. It's nice to have. Yeah.
There's this one that's quite good actually. Invigorated by Evisceration. Beautiful name.
I mean, I'm into that.
No more said. 1 CP. Use this stratagem after an enemy unit is destroyed as a result of a melee attack made by a Cult of Strife infantry or biker unit from your army. Until the start of your next turn, models in that unit have a 4+ invulnerable save.
Oh, I like that.
So you could fly your bikes in, smash and grab, do your stuff, but use the Flawless Approach so you can't Overwatch. Then you smash that on, they've got a 4-up in one.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking knock someone
And
off an
your barber.
objective, wipe someone off an objective, hold it, you've got a 4-up in one while you're on that objective. Next turn, you can score your 5 points.
Well, yeah, and that. Yeah,
That's that definitely.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Really cool, though. Really, really cool.
Good.
I don't think there's much more. There is one here, which I'm not sure what this means. So what you can do is, which is quite nice. I like this. It's like with the Death Guard Codex. I've got the Space Marine Codex now, but I've not looked through it. I need to look through. And I assume the rest of the codexes are falling the same. Basically, you can upgrade one of your Hecatrix models in your Succubus units. It's Succubus units. Witch units, sorry. You can make them. They're not a character, but you can give them a one of the relics.
Oh, I like that.
Here. So you could give them more veins agonizer, the Lotus Toxin, or the Garland of Spite.
Or the Garland,
Yeah, for 1
definitely.
CP, you can give one of your succubuses. Bloody hell, one of your Hecatrix.
Are you all right?
There's a lot of Hecatrix. There's a lot of weird words.
Yeah,
it's my brain. But yeah, I think there's some really tasty stuff. There's some really nice stuff. Some of them relics are really good. That Warlord Trait competitive edge is tasty. And then there's a nice few little extra stratagems to chuck in.
Definitely.
Just anything. They've just had the Codex released. The Codex is awesome, and now they've got an extra little supplement to go with it.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. Happy days. Some really good stuff.
Lovely.
What I will do, because I can't contain myself, I'm just going to quickly go over some cool stuff with the Death Guard.
Give us a little bit of Death Guard love. A Brucey bonus.
A Brucey bonus, exactly. So the Terminus S Assault Force is awesome. It's very cool. There is restrictions to it. Like we said, it's basically one of the what did we say earlier? Not a detachment. It's
like a formation.
A formation. That was the word that was going. Yes, it's like a formation. Some restrictions. You can't have Mortarion. You can't have any tanks.
As I said, I'm okay with this.
Yeah. To be fair, it's pretty filthy. So I could. Yeah, there's no need to put him in there. And it's basically Typhus's warband as such, and they don't get on too well.
They don't.
You don't have to have Typhus as your Warlord, but if you do, he automatically gets the Warlord trait that comes with this, on top of his normal Warlord trait, in addition to any Warlord.
So you make him the Warlord, definitely.
Yeah. So you take Typhus, you're making the Warlord. You can't have any vehicle units at all. Anything with a vehicle keyword you can't have. But what it gives you access to is 4 new stratagems, a new Psychic Discipline table, which is tasty, this Warlord trait, and 7 new relics.
Good grief.
Which is just obscene.
That's a lot of relics.
A lot of relics. And it also gives you the ability. Now, it's a little bit pricey, I think, for some of it, but I can understand why. You can basically deep strike. It's called Outbreak Assault. Units that can't deep strike. So you can bring in the Poxwalkers and stuff like that, which is nice,
cool.
Which is very cool. So there's a little table with, depending on how what the power rating is for that unit, depends how much it is. Basically, you're mainly going to use this for Poxwalkers. Okay, so a squad of 20 Poxwalkers is 5 power level, which equates to 2 CP. So you can bring in, I think at a push, 2 units. I'd do 2 units to 20 for 4 CP, but that's then not taking any other CP off you, because you don't want to start with very little CP with this board.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's some awesome stratagems. But I would be reserved to do that. I think just have it all on the board, just storm up the board with God knows how many Poxwalkers, you know what I mean? So the Warlord trait you get is the Heartbringer of Death, which is an awesome name as well. It's an aura. While an enemy model with a leadership characteristic of 7 or less is within 3 inches of this Warlord, they love these leadership things.
Yeah.
That model can't make use of objective secured or any other similar abilities.
Oh, I like that.
And
Admech are very low leadership, so that's good for Admech.
they also can't perform actions.
Ooh.
So he just shuts off. Objective secured. You're on objective doing your whatever. He just takes the objective off you and stops you from doing your action. He just walks up to him. No, you're not doing that action no more. That's that. And he walks off. It doesn't carry on. It's stopped. You've stopped it. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And cool. While one or more enemy model is in range of this aura, add one to the Warlord's attacks characteristics. Basically 3 in 1. Yeah. Three things in one. But that's pretty cool. But Typhus just gets that for free. So you would just give it to Typhus. Stratagem-wise, I'm only going to talk about one of them because this one is probably the more important one. 2 of them, sorry. This one is Rotting Tide. So it's 2 CP or 3 CP. And what this actually does is it's basically like the Green Tide for orcs. Right. You've shot the hell out of 20 Poxwalkers, but there's one left. Bang for 20 for 3 CP if there's a 20-man squad. You can set them back up on the battlefield 9 inches away from 6 inches from a battlefield edge and more than 9 inches away from the enemy. Jesus. So it's Green Tide. You just bring back the whole 20-man unit on wherever you want, basically.
That's demoralizing.
Exactly. That's what I love. And the other one, which is really good, is Pestilential. I hate words from Nurgle. It's something like Pestilential.
Pestilential. I don't know.
That could be it. Pestilential drop. 2 CP. When you bring a unit down...
Sounds like something you'd use to describe a really bad shit. I've had a pestilential drop.
God, I'll go and see a doctor about that. So basically, when you bring a unit in from reinforcements, when they teleport strike, like if you did your Terminators or whatever, when they come down, if you use this stratagem, their aura for the Contagions ability is 12 inches. So for the turn they come down, turn 2, which really would be a 3-inch aura, you bring them down, boom, 12 inches on their -1 toughness bubble. So if they're set up 9 inches away from the enemy, you're in that contagion range, which is nice.
Tasty. In a Nurgly sort of way.
In a Nurgly sort of way. Very cool. But yeah, they're the two that are the better things on that. But then there's the Festa Discipline. This is the new psychic discipline that they've got access to. And
Festa Discipline.
Some of these are filthy. So you've got 6 powers. First one, Gift of Infection. Basically, a unit within 18 inches of the Psyker, you can subtract 1 from the toughness characteristic of that unit. It won't be a -2 if you're in contagion range, though. So what we can do is we can fire that at somebody and then
pepper them.
Pepper them from afar. Yeah, nice little power. Long Rot was on the community website. That's basically shuts down. This is good for against Drukhari actually. You target the unit, they can't advance. Each time they want to charge, they can only charge units that are within 6 inches of them.
Yeah,
so it halves your charge range. And each time a charge roll is made, you can't re-roll it. So it really shuts down. If you've got an alpha combat unit, you just go boom. You've got to be within 6. You've got to, you can't re-roll. It's
Fuck your Incubi, yeah.
You ain't coming anywhere near me. The other one though that I really like is Accelerated Entropy. So this goes really nicely with the Gift of Infection, or if somebody is in contagion range and you're getting that -1 toughness to it. So what this does is both players roll 1d6 and add their model's toughness characteristic. So say it's on my Malignant Plaguecaster, or say it's on my Demon Prince, because he's toughness 6, 7, something like that. So you have to roll dice, add your toughness. If I win and I'm higher than your roll, you suffer 3 mortal wounds. If my result is double what you rolled, you suffer D3 plus 3 mortal wounds.
Ooh, ouch.
So you're talking down to like a squad of Wychers or a squad of Cabalites that are now toughness 2. I'm toughness 6, toughness 7. Most of the time, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's probably going to be double.
Yeah, that is good.
That's a lot of wounds. It's a lot of damage.
A lot of wounds. That's a lot of damage.
And then the only other notable one is Rotwind, which makes me laugh. I love the name. Basically, choose a unit. All the weapons that they have, it says all the weapons for melee or shooting. You don't choose anything, you just choose the unit. Reduce the armor penetration characteristic of the attacks from that unit by 2 to a minimum of 0.
Wow, that's nice.
So you're coming at me with your incubi that have been lung rotted, so they can't charge anyway. They can hardly go in. But also now, is it -3 is now -1 on their weapons?
Yeah, sure. I think it's -3. I'll take that. That is nice. It's some good stuff.
Some very good stuff. The relics are just, some extra little bits and bobs. There's not anything that's incredible there. The power fist that they previewed on the website is probably the best thing. ×3 strength, -3 2 damage plague weapon. Yes, please. Yes. No minus to hit. Oh,
don't mind if I do.
I'll slap you with my rock grip. And that's about it. But it's some really, really nice stuff. The only thing that really gets me and bugs me is you have to have, especially for the discipline, the psychic powers, you have to be Terminus Est Assault Force to gain access to those psychic powers.
Yeah.
I don't think those psychic powers would break the game if anybody could have them in a Death Guard army. I don't think it's just nice to have that variation, because you'd have to choose each discipline anyway. So you'd have you can't mix and match. You'd have to go, I'm doing the Festa Discipline or I'm doing the normal discipline. You'd have to choose one. So I don't know. But no, there's some awesome stuff. I'm very excited to play with my Death Guard. Can't wait to crush and slap you about with my rock grip and my lung rot and my rot wind.
I can't wait to have all those things.
And all that rot stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I look forward to it.
But anyway, this is a Drukhari closer look, not a Death Guard closer look. I just got carried away. I got carried away.
We needed to talk about it. We needed to discuss it. Lovely. Cool. So, that's it for part 1. Let's have a break. Let's have a wee.
A wee break.
And then we'll come back and we'll do our hobby progress for the last 1 week again.
Yes.
Because we point out that it has only been a week this time once again.
Bloody timings.
And we'll do Orange Tram pick. So we will be right back. Okay, we are back, and we will be discussing hobby progress from the last week. What have you been doing?
A great deal. What I've basically done is I've put a few pictures of some stuff that I had done.
I saw.
A while back.
Beautiful, I will say.
Thank you very much. I mean, that stuff's just been sort of sat on a shelf since December, way early December.
Yeah.
I got the model for when the Necromunda model came out from for the doctor, the plague doctor thing. Because I saw it and I thought, that is homunculus. That is literally an homunculus.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I could not unsee it. So I was like, I'll get it. And that's when the sort of Drukhari little thing came back to life and I started doing a few bits. But yeah, they've been sat there for a long time. So I posted them. And I finished basing the rest of them as well. I kind of, that is my thing. I sort of paint things and then never base them. The little things that do paint, don't base them. Yeah. So finish that sort of stuff. And then, in anticipation for our first time of rolling some dice, I've got a bit of my Death Guard stuff that was a bit of a backlog. Made, at least. So they're ready to play with. I've got, Sam, I'll be honest with you. I've got 10 Blightlord Terminators.
Oh, my God. I'm not coming tomorrow.
10 of them.
I'm staying at home where it's safe.
I'm really sorry. But
10 Terminators.
10 Blightlord Terminators ready to roll, mate.
Oh, well, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You've got an updated codex. You've got we're on level peggings. You've got more damage and all that jazz. Yeah,
it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. There's no else dirty that I'm going to be playing. That's the one heavy hitter. But yeah, that's about it. I've made them. I've finished off again. I'm in my head. I'm sort of going. I need to finish off units before I go on to other things. So I'm finishing off lots of bits and bobs here and there, tying up the loose ends to make my life feel better, so that I can then paint something else. And that is it. That's it. How about yourself?
I've been a busy boy.
Busy boy.
I finished transferring all of my Citadel paints into dropper bottles.
Oh, yeah.
It probably took about 4 hours all in.
Oh, God. Yeah, that is a task. But
worth it.
No doubt well worth it, yeah.
So worth it. I feel like I live in a new life. Like, not even like just like they take up so much less room because they're thin. You know, it's just
yeah.
It's just changed my life. So I'm glad I did that. I finished the competition piece for the 2 Dorks 1 Brush competition.
Yeah.
Blood Rage Erkin.
Very cool. Very
I'm
cool.
pleased
Reminds
with it.
Reminds me of the from wrestling. Every time I see it, I just want to say, what's his name? I'm the Boogeyman.
Yeah. I was going for like a twisted Baron Samedi type thing.
Yeah.
So
I did like
really
cool.
I did a graveyard base, which I really enjoyed doing the base. I don't really do bases like that very often, so I enjoyed putting that together. And
the base itself was really good as well. Yeah,
I did the base, and I was like, I don't want to put a model on this. I don't want to ruin it by putting a model on it. But I was happy about how it turned out. I just need to get some good pictures taken. I'm going to hopefully borrow I've got a very good camera that we use at work. So I'm going to borrow that one evening and just try and get some good shots, because with it being an online competition, pictures are going to be key.
She got to look good.
She got to look her best. So I finished that, and then I hit like I don't know what to do now sort of thing. So I just started working on some Hellions, built some Hellions, and undercoated them and did all the airbrushing on them today. So they're about 40% of the way to being done. So
very cool.
Although this is a really boring story, but I'm going to say it anyway. I lost the flight stands. I had to buy for all. I don't know where it's got. I'll probably bin them at some point. I've had these Hellions since I got that Blood of the Phoenix box, which was
long time ago. That is.
God, I mean, what, 2 years ago, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the flight stands are. So I had to order some flight stands. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to magnetize the stands. I think like I did on the jet bikes.
Yeah.
So that'll add a bit of extra time to get them ready to go. But I'll probably need 10 to make it worth having a squad. But something a bit different.
I remember. I've got 10 of them, but I remember one of them is missing the actual skyboard, and I don't know where the other skyboard is.
So. Are you sure that's not a witch? But other than that, it's only been a week, so that is it. What is your plan?
We'll let you off.
What are your plans?
My planes. It's.
We're gonna play tomorrow, and you're gonna use Death Guard. Whatever you say today. Tomorrow you're gonna get the bug, and you're gonna be playing Death Guard again. So
probably true. I am very fickle. That is probably true. I've got different things that I can start, and I want to start because I've done quite a lot of finishing projects off. So I have actually finished up quite a considerable amount of stuff just doing the bases. Yeah. So I don't know. Like you say, it will probably be Death Guard tomorrow. So I will see. I probably will at some point this week airbrush the actual Terminators and get them base coated and all that jazz, and get the green on there. So I'm sort of ready in that regard. I think it's just play it by ear, see how I feel when I come in. That's sort of how I'm doing it at the minute. Because any day now, a child will be born.
Your child.
My child will be born. So I hope it's my child. It will be born. So it's sort of, I don't want to commit to anything or anything like that.
Yeah, sure.
I know that I'm going with the flow.
Do what you can when you can.
when I can,
I like it.
if I can be asked.
I like it.
What's your plan for the next week?
So I'm going to finish the Hellions, and then it's going to be... I've realised I've only got left 4 Witchers, a Raider, and a Succubus, and I've repainted everything that had previously been painted.
Okay, all right.
So getting that done is going to feel like a bit of an achievement, because
yeah, definitely.
Then I'm actually painting stuff that hasn't been painted before, which
is always
good.
Fun.
So, but I'm in a similar boat to you where I'm moving house at the end of the month. So
yeah.
I'm going to have to start packing things. I mean, the paints are going to be the last things to be put away, obviously, because
yeah, definitely
the priority. So
exactly.
And they'll be the first things that I set back up. So hopefully I won't experience too much of a downtime.
The first things you set back, literally, nothing else is in that house. Paint stand is on the wall.
I mean, I'm not even... Yes.
That is what
all jokes aside, yes. I cannot experience a downtime.
No,
so
definitely not.
But other than that, just plugging away on the Drukhari. Cool.
Awesome.
Let's do America's favourite miniature painting based social media award.
Oh!
The Instagram pics.
Instagram pics of thy week.
Can I go first?
Of course you can.
I've got a tasty one. Okay. Alamo_paints. That's ALAMO. Alamo paints. And it's the last post he's done. It's an Incubi.
An Incubi. Hang on, I'm getting all. What was it?
ALAMO_paints.
ALAM. Alamo paints.
Now,
ooh.
I love a clean paint job. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a bit of weathering, I love a bit of stippling, but I'm a fan of a clean job, and this Incubi is clean.
That boy has been washed, bathed in milk for
Exactly.
days. He is clean.
So just standard Incubi, really, really nice, deep blue though colour.
Yeah.
And then the head, I'd love to know how I did the head with the sort of purple shading. I mean, I can't paint white. I've accepted it. I avoid it.
Yeah.
That is just a beautiful, beautiful helmet, the white. So,
yeah,
and
that is tasty.
It is very. And if you go further down, he's got the Drukhari army. Is just really beautiful.
It's a really nice, clean. Like I say, clean, all that jazz. Really, really nice.
I know that they're Drukhari and they're, weird piratical dudes, but I just love a clean paint job, even if it's not particularly.
I look at them. I look at them as I've always looked at Drukhari and sort of seen them as they look down on everything else that isn't a Drukhari.
They wipe everything.
Like we're just posh motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that
I agree.
Partake in a little bit of human torture now
Definitely.
and again.
That's all it is. They're just posh people,
but clean, refined. Even like if they're wearing a cloak made of skin.
It's clean. It's well laundered.
It's a well-made bit of leather. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's a strong look.
Definitely. But this guy, Alamo Paints, honestly, you could scroll down all day. He's just some beautiful stuff on there. He's got a GC cults that look amazing. He's got some actual Eldar stuff. It's just all really beautiful. There's an awesome Court of the Archon. I could just look at it all day, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tyranids.
Really cool.
It's cool. So check him out, Alamo_paints. What you got for me?
Very cool. Well, what I've got for you is something that's very cool. And almost all the pictures this guy or gal puts up, it's like you're looking at a full-on picture from a film as well. It's beautiful.
Okay.
The Instagrammer is Forgotten Wolf, all one word, spelt WULF for wolf, and it is a Space Wolves / sort of the Imperial Guard that would be with them, as well. But they're they're awesomely painted, really, really nice. hard-looking blokes. You know what I mean? Like Arrow Wolf should be.
Yeah,
They look hard.
The Space Wolves, when they do them in that sort of baby blue,
Yeah,
it always. But when you see this sort of dark, deep grey, it feels a lot more Space Wolfy.
Well, his most recent post, which was literally an hour ago, that I've just seen, it just shows exactly what I mean. The guy on the right of that picture, it's so like Valhalla.
Yeah.
Just.
I love that the axe, it's not like a power axe or some sort of futuristic. It is literally a stick with metal on it axe.
It's a stone axe.
It doesn't need power.
Down.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, just really, really nice. Like you say, the colours are awesome. Yeah. Just that dull grey blue sort of, like no yellow shoulder pads, no whatever. Not even much like gold trim. It's just these are cold men going in. You know what I mean? It's just
that's awesome.
Really nice character.
The guy must have some sort of photography background as well, because some of his pictures he's took are beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some like nice little effects he's put on them to proper make them sort of cinematic looking pictures. It's some really nice stuff.
Definitely.
But yes, Forgotten Wolf.
Forgotten Wolf. Check him out.
Check him out, because his stuff is awesome.
Lovely. Excellent. Well, that is it. We've done it again.
We've only gone and done it again, Jeff.
They've only done and done it again. 18 episodes and they're still going strong.
Can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. Hopefully you've enjoyed our deeper dive into the Drukhari Codex.
Oh, sure, yes.
Our next episode, and I don't know if me and you have discussed this, but this is going to be our next episode, will be an episode on how to beat the Drukhari.
I'm all about that.
And
I'm all about that.
I mean, based on previous experience, you'll be well schooled in that by the end of tomorrow, so we'll be able to give you actual gameplay information rather than theoreticals. We'll be able to actually.
It's one of them. I've been in two minds about it. I love the Drukhari, but I want to win.
You've got to put down what you love.
Exactly.
Exactly. Again. So we'll do a full episode on how to beat them, tactics, things to take, and stuff like that. So look forward to that, because believe me, you're going to be seeing a lot of Drukhari when the world starts to open up again.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think they have increased in popularity a great deal after the release of this book. So prepare yourself, prepare your armies, prepare your anuses, because
for the breach.
For the breach of the Drukhari. Yeah. Oh dear. Right. We should go with that. We've just been demonetized from the channel that has no monetization on it. Yes. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, tell us about all the things we got wrong.
Especially the things we got wrong.
And the things we got right. And how you're going to be running Drukhari units, because that I'm interested in. There's definitely in this book many choices. So
for sure.
Give us some ideas of what you're going to be running. If you like videos, you can catch us on YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube and you want to listen to us in the car, you can listen to the audio versions on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, or wherever podcasts are available.
I like that.
Fucking professional.
So good.
So professional. Yes, anyway.
Semi-erect.
Right. Semi-erect after that. Anyway, we're going to go. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you all in the next episode.
See you all later.